Women are not impossible, even though it feels like it. You might have a lot of experiences when you wanted to talk to a woman that you are interested in more than just a friend. For example, at work or in your social circle. Obviously, it might be at bars, clubs, and also, on the street with women that you don't know. But let's focus now on women that you know in your social circle or at your working environment. Women that are close to you, but not really your close friend yet. There might be, your friend's friend that you used to hang around with in groups or at work. Mostly it could be at work, I guess. And you see this woman and you're going up to her and you start talking to her because you want something happen. Obviously, you want to make a strong impression. So you're trying to be cool, you're trying to be interesting, you're trying to be funny and witty. And you just feel like it doesn't really work your way. And her interest getting, in some way lower and lower. And the lower it gets, the harder you try. And eventually you just feel ridiculous because you're giving your all and the woman is just, more or less ignoring you, making you feel invincible. Have you been in that situation? I guess all guys have been in that situation, and that affects our confidence. Really, it's a terrible situation. It might sound a little bit humoristic, but it is a horrible situation. It's terrible. So what to do exactly? I mean, if you going up to a couple of women that you find as attractive, like those women are women I could date and maybe build something on, and you went to three, four, five women the last 5 months, let's say, and all of them just sort of rejected you, even though you didn't pull the trigger. Even you're just trying to be friendly, you're just trying to have a decent conversation, and all of them were not interested, and you didn't come to any point where you actually could pull the trigger and ask her out because you could just see how the interest just drop every time you're talking to them, and the feeling of women being impossible might come to the surface. I get you, really, I do. Here's the thing: women are not so open to most guys in the beginning, really. And I'm now talking about the majority of women. Obviously, it happens that some women are just completely hooked to a certain guy, maybe a guy that fit her preferences perfectly, and she got instant spiked in the brain in a way that she want to learn. She want to learn more about him. That's most of what it is. She might not be super attracted and want to go to bed with him directly and wanted to start a romantic relationship directly. No, it doesn't mean that. But she wants to learn to know. So the door is open to learn to know each other quite quickly. That happens. But the vast majority of the time, that doesn't happen. Because most of us guys are just the average. We are not like her super preference guy that she always dreamed of. No, we are just normal dudes. And when we are normal dudes, we have to build things slowly. All right? Forget about what everyone else say. All right? If you want to go with the main rule, you have to build it slowly. And the first step is to be curious about her. So many guys are way too focused on being an interesting guy by saying interesting things and doing interesting things. But now I want you to forget about it and you need to start being curious about her. So the first level or the first start you need to do is to go up to her and want to learn to know her in one subject. Start with that. And it could be like something work related. You can go up to her and say, I was just thinking about you. Uh, I'm curious. I have a question. What do you actually think about this work? That is a great question to ask. And then you're quiet, you listen to what she answers, and then obviously there are a lot of conversational tools you can use here in order to make it dynamic, in order for you to take her pretty short and surface-based answers and take it into depth. You can do it by sharing, and then ask a follow-up question, and then suddenly you're in depth, and in that depth that is when things start matters. And when you start listening to her, what she has to say about her perspective at work, like what is good, what is bad, what she like to do instead, and so on, and you just quiet and listen to her, and you are still good to, you're still a good conversationalist to put inputs to make the conversation going all the time, to make you feel great. You start there. You start to learn about the other person, because when the other person knows that you are interested in them, not only her physical beauty, but who they are as persons, that is when you're actually creating the powerful safety and trust they feel when they are with you. And that is the first level. You need to get that part down before you start, advanced in the romantic section. That is absolutely valid for most guys. So in order to create that safety and trust, you need to learn how to ask questions and be curious about, genuinely curious. You cannot pretend to be curious. You have to be genuinely curious about something about her. She might have a lot of things that you're curious about, but in the beginning, choose one thing, ask about it, and then next time you meet her, you ask about something else. This is what need to be done in order for her to feel like, wow, this guy is great, because I don't know, I cannot explain it. I just feel great when I am with him. And from the science, we know that women feel great when they're talking about what they think about things and about themselves. There is nothing that can beat that. Women feel at best. Actually, people feel at best, but this is definitely tailored to women. They feel at best when they are talking about things that really matters, about themselves, about what they think about things, and about the current and future projections about their lives. Really. Your mission is to make sure that she wants to talk with you about what you think about things. Once you're doing it right by asking the right questions, by doing things to make the conversation dynamic, then you're in. And the more you learn about her, the more she reveal about her perspectives and her things. With you sharing something about yourself in the right moments, and then also using empathetic tools to make her feel understood, to make her feel heard, then you create this emotional connection. And when once that emotional connection is has been built, or you building this emotional connection, the barrier she has to learn to know someone, a guy, the barriers she has to become intimate with the guy, getting, you know, getting lower and lower and lower, and eventually you are on the inside. And once you are on the inside, that is when all the fun is happening. She sees you at work. She will just, say hi to you in a very warm way. She might joke with you in a very warm way. She will do a lot of things when she sees you at work, because now she feels like she knows you. Because when she knows that she feels great when she's with you, that is when she feels like she knows you. It's not so much about the facts, like she knows you because you're living in this address, you're doing this on your free time, and you like this kind of food. That is not what I'm talking about. Really knowing you is much more about emotions, how she feels when she is with you. And that is what you want to capitalize on. So forget about all those ways that you need to make this strong, powerful first impression. You just need to make, a good impression in a very low key. Like you just want to learn to know her by asking her what she think about a certain thing. That's it. Because you want to learn to know her in this particular thing. So take that advice. It will completely change the way you see things. And I get it. Many times you feel like you want to be part of that kind of the movie, Hollywood movie scene, where James Bond just looking at the woman and come with a witty line, and the woman is just completely hooked because she never saw anything so cool in her whole entire life, and bam, he just make everything happen. Forget about that, all right? Take a couple of steps back and start talking to those women that you're interested in with asking them the first question that you want to have a genuine answer to. And remember also, when she answer something, let's say that you're asking her, what do you think about this work? What do you think about working here? And she says, I like it, it's okay, and that's it. That is not you finding out what you think about work and what, you know, and what she like about the work. No, that is just a shallow answer. So you need to learn how to take that and take what she said and take her under the surface in deep levels. And basically, you're doing it by sharing something about yourself first, to be able to ask a follow up open ended question that takes things to depth. And when you are in depth, there's a lot of conversational tools to make things going. So, and what those tools are, well, it's a lot of things. But I want to give you the real idea and the real way to actually start being good with women. When you are like me, like this average dude, so you have the mindset and the knowledge of what is it that need to be done here. All right, that's always the first step. You need to understand the concept. So this is the concept of human science. Anyway, guys, I hope you like this video, and I see you in the next one.